Will he or won't he? Can he or can't he? Do he or don't he? I do, I can, and I will. Woo! Let's go. The kid is ready. Alright, I'm going to do it a little different in case somebody pops in. Get my stream chat open over here so I can see it whilst I paint. Here's my vampire from yesterday. It's a bloody son of a gun right there. Alright, I got my lights on. I rigged this up. Piece of paper, parent sheet. So hopefully, all right. What do we want to do today? Oh, I gotta mute myself over. All right, so I've made a decision. I'm gonna start painting more characters, but I'm not gonna do any mainstream characters because I don't think that will serve a purpose in advancing what we're doing in Comicsgate. And just, if you look at the whole Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby versus Marvel thing, they stole too much energy already. You know what I mean? So why should I give them any more? Right? They've leached off us creators plenty enough. So I'm gonna crack a cold one here. Some sparkling water, store brand. Mm, mm, mm. So, I think I'll do a head sketch of Bram, which is the book I completed at the end of last year. Or, well, it wasn't the end of last year, it was August. Yeah, so I finished Bram up. Been colored lettered. Campaign is still going on Indiegogo. Graveyard Shift 4. Go find it. Support me. Buy my book. I think you'll be very happy with the books. Um, my book is definitely in the vein of the early image dudes, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri. I have Jimmy Reyes inking me, and he's incredible. He's he's a better inker than I am a penciler. How's that for a sales pitch? Um, but for real. So, after I get done with my art and he gets a hold of it, when I get it back, it's like looking at someone else's art because he's just so good. He adds another couple levels to the art. But yeah, it looks very, very good. Check it out, Graveyard Shift 4 on Indiegogo. All right, so let's draw Bram. Let's give him a little style. A little bit of a looking over his shoulder, maybe. Let me tell you, shoulder pads look oh so cool. They are a pain in the ass to draw. Because once you start, moving around doing superhero stuff, just functionally, it just doesn't work like you think. I mean, you see football players, they can wear that stuff, but the type of shoulder pads these comic dudes wear, the whole other level. But also that challenge is what makes it fun, right? How's that for a generic conversation? It's the challenge. He's got the chops going on. He's a woolly booger. And he has an eye patch. So one of the things John's been on to me about is drawing handsome dudes. And I want to do facial expressions more. So that kind of leads into you kind of got to go for it with these like over the top facial expressions. That leads to sometimes some gnarly looking faces that might not be quite right. So I've actually chilled on the facial expressions a little bit and got it down. I have definitely more than, a lot of the people in the 90s, even older Marvel. There are very few dudes that are good at drawing a variety of facial expressions. Very few. And most only have stock like six, maybe, if even that, right? You think about like Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and those guys, they got the clenched mouth, the open mouth, the frowny face, the stone face, and maybe the surprise face. But anguish or envy or jealousy, all those type of expressions, they didn't really mess around with too much. When drawing a Graham, kind of think Clint Eastwood a little bit, or a lot of bit. My brother's one of those dudes that grew up on the 80s action movies, and he always thought he was in one. The leading, the leading role in an action movie. He was, I don't know the whole story. He was doing something for law enforcement at one point. Uh, I say that to paint it kindly. I think he'd gotten in trouble with the law and was working as like a narc to help get out of it. And he was, he had, he had come into some money. I think he'd probably just finished working on a vehicle or something, as a mechanic. So somebody just paid him. So he had a wad of money. Like I said, being the 80s action hero that he thought he was living in, he pulled it out at the gas station uptown. And the guy behind him as a joke. Like act like he's gonna reach for it. He's like, oh hey, give me that. And my brother pulled the gun on him and told him that if he even thought about it, he'd blow his fucking head off. It's just like what the he he's telling this story all like proud kinda. So yeah. He was a wild man. He's settled down. He's nowhere near that crazy now. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's pretty crazy, but he ain't that crazy. Growing up in my house, there was a lot of action. And Patterson boys was trouble. So one time they ordered a pizza from Domino's, and the pizza guy showed up. They paid him in like change because they were kind of broke, but they yeah broke but order a pizza. Anyway, they paid this guy in quarters and dimes and nickels, but they also gave him like a $3 or $4 tip. But the pizza guy, when he got it, he like scoffed, like, oh. My brother's wife's like, Marty, and told him, that what the pizza man did. My brother started cursing him out, told him to get the fuck out of here. As the pizza man was walking down the steps of the front porch, my brother kicked him in his ass. Imagine doing that nowadays. That was back in like the 90s, the late 90s. Could you imagine doing something like that now? Right. So I got the face kind of laid out there. And do I want the light above? Let's go like kind of almost straight down. So definitely get some cheekbone. And set the eyes a little bit with that. Shadow below the nose, shadow at the bottom of that round part of the head, the skull. Chin. And we won't worry about stuff too much. Okay, let's watercolor. I think we'll go the yellow as a base. Looking at like what all's going on in the world now, and looking back to the 90s and even the 2000s, but really the 90s. I was born in 77, so I'm an 80s kid and a 90s kid. Um, and looking at what's going on now and how the social media makes every problem feel like it's on your doorstep, and it's really not. But just thinking of all the good times had, I'm talking about everybody. It seemed like everybody was having a good time. And then it just turned, you know. Obviously 9/11, just people in a constant state of fear after that. It's just like, why would you want to be like that, you know? And you would have people tell you now that what a travesty those times were in the 90s. How nobody had any rights. Racism was rampant. Dude, it was literally the opposite of that. The good old days. Alright, we got us a base coat. Probably should have saved some white in the eyes, even though eyes aren't really white. Alright, first coat down. Sound like MRE Steve. Steve 1989, the MRE reviewer guy. Alright, let's get this out onto a tray. It's in some sort of sticky stuff. Bottom of this cup. Ah, yeah. I mean, you stupid idiot. That cup had some soda in it. Into the trash. To never ruin my live stream again. My little foam brushes. It's a goner. Oh, well, I got the wide brushes now. I used that back when I was poor. All that thing does is steal your paint anyway. It just soaks it up. You can, like, put infinite paint into that thing. You can use, like, half of a jar of gesso if you're trying to prime your canvas. Alright, you ready? Here we go! Mostly dry. Nope. Let's do some blue. Blue and black. Test. Be honest with you. I think I want that more blue. Yeah. Thin out a little. All watercolors are like 4 layers, right? At least, if you want them to look kind of cool. So let's go with it. Too much, too much, too much. Just right. Just right. Put the red on the nose. Brown's been drinking. Red on the cheek. Up. Right. Let's go. His hair, the yellow. Lemon yellow hair. Arms raised. What does he say after that? In a V? Arms raised in a V? Is that the lyrics? Howard Stern kind of killed Eddie Vedder. Like, if you look at him before 10 hit it big, whenever they were doing a few interviews on MTV, they were all happy and goofy. And then as soon as they start getting popular, Eddie can barely speak. He's rocking back and forth when he talks, like he's got boiling acidic diarrhea. Right, time for some brown. Ooh, that ain't brown. Let's color it. That's my brown. That's my brown. Give him his Homer Simpson beard. Guys, I don't know how this one's going to turn out. I feel like it's already gotten away from me. Color of Bram's eyes. Go blue. Somebody messaging me. We're having a debate on who's a pretty redhead and who's not. My buddy's claiming Amy Adams is tip top of the list. It's like, I think so, bro. Jessica Chastain. Chastain. Bryce Dallas Howard. Kelly Riley. All right, here we go. So let's go back to the blue and black and try to lock in this as a shadow area. Careful, my paper's trying to buckle. I need to hit it with the dryer. Right? So we're trying to lock in almost like when you do a vector trace graphic design and it kind of simplification of, or like what Mike Mignola does. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. And I do think doing that, boom, worked. Boom. All right, let's activate a little bit of our extremely expensive black. So we want orange, black. Right? You don't necessarily want to draw every hair. You just want to lock in, again, a couple of shapes that your brain fill in the blanks. I definitely want it's in a head shape, so iPad, get it out of the way. Turn your paper. I don't do that nearly as much in the watercolor as I do drawing. Make it appear to have somewhat of a highlight. All right, back to the orange and black. Okay, so gotta lock in some of these shapes over here. Push up the peak here, the temple. All right. So let's. I want to do some spatter, I think. Add some. Bring some noise! Let's do round. Then, hopefully that can spread it out. Get that some. Pop in something in the background real quick. Use one of our fancy brushes. Let's go. I've seen, a decent number of painted comics. I don't think I've seen this brush used regularly. So I'm taking it right now. I'm putting it in an envelope. I'm mailing it to myself. This is my thing. This is my thing. Lil Wayne, it's my cup. It's not your cup. It's my cup. Um, yeah. Almost a Photoshop brush. The rake. It's too much watercolor for this little dude. Boom. A brush. So we'll go back to the old flat brush. This is bright. Hey, it's so weird, local color, because it's almost never the actual local color. I see a shape we can connect, though. So starting up under his eye, down to the cheek, down through here, down to here, and then we're going to connect it up to right there too. Couple of tendons. Cause that boy, he's straining, bro. He's straight up grunting one out right now. All right, 36 minutes in. You know what time it is? It's time a drink. ASMR in the house. Let's go. I do, I can, and I will. It is ready. Yeah, blood red. I'm blowing my shirt. You know when it's dry visually, you can see it like buckle and then flatten out. By the way, sorry about the hideous band-aid. I scratched it on the corner of the TV stand. It's 2022 and we still have sharp edges on furniture. It's ridiculous. Everything should be beveled. What's that shit cheap? Right, let's back to back. It's too much. Aw, Ram got a sad. Really like how it just melded down here. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this. That's why we here. Yeah. Ooh, cutting shapes. Kid is cutting shapes on them. My new nickname, the Frisket. right? So within our shapes, go back, chisel out another pleasing shape. And notice how I haven't defined much over here, but I can still go in and chisel out that shape within the shape. Just keep it within that reference, right? I'm making this shit up as um, because this is our active area. Wow. It's okay. Bleed down into the eyebrow a little bit. You look foolish. It's cool. No, 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 no. It's no big deal. Go ahead. All right. Want to? I'm gonna do green. But let's turn that frown upside down. Don't get it wet. Drenched right. Shape. Give me a shape, baby. Give me a shape, baby. Go ahead, baby. Give me a shape, baby. Go ahead, baby. I feel like I'm already back, full swing of this. COVID don't mean shit to my dick. All right. Got 15 minutes to dry. So we're going to dry it for 5 minutes. No, it's going to be terrible. Hearing that crazy blow dryer for that long. That's what we got to do. Then we're going to use our colored pencils. Colored pencils. Can't remember if I sharpened all these yet or not. Meant to. Didn't. I meant to. Tape. Right? That's my trick right there. Boom! Alright. Blow dry time. Let's do it. I want to see the thing. See the video. Just like the old days. Just like 2021. The video's supposed to play. I guess I got my scenes all stacked weird because I've been doing the live stream with Bill Diaz, Zaid Comics fella. Dude, it started looking like Cujo drooling all over. Oh yeah. All right. Until they set you free. All right. Okay. Right. So, want to not go black for the shadows here. Blue indigo. That sounds good. Keep it in the family. Oh man. A jabroni sharpen this. Wasn't me. Oh my gosh. This camera's in the way. I'm kind of wanting to get close. So not too much, you know? Let's not kill this one. Yesterday we killed it. We killed the vampire dead yesterday. Who knew that the trick to killing a vampire dead was just overdrawing it? I want to. Color do I want here? An orange. Orange. I don't want one that's too red though. Yeah. Orange citrulé. Guess that's how you say it. Kind of Yeah, I want to be careful not to kill the watercolor shapes. Ones they like kind of naturally make. Because what's the point? Should we let it out there? Let's go back to let's see if that does that work, feathering it out like that. My voice get all high right. I'm gonna kill it if I keep going. So it's too dark. Mm-hmm. It abides. Alright, so we'll let this blue pencil be the great unifier. Let's go back. Let's do something a little darker on his eyebrow. Yeah. Alright, so we gotta learn how to paint eyebrows. Alright. And I do want to hit the flesh, if you know what I mean. Kind of want it to be a definitive shape. Hmm. Alright. Now bear with me. Let's do 70. Yes. Where's my sharpener? Oh no. No, I got a little barrel sharpener in here somewhere. Tell you what. Fashion way, sharpen it on some scrap paper. Sharp enough. Let's add some stubble. I don't know that I want to add it in this shape over here, right? Scared it'll kill the shape. Just hint at it in the chest hair. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Dr. Disrespect. All right, you did it. Teared up. Couple little crow's feet. Well, not a 100% total success, but I'm happy because yeah, we fought with it and got a few shapes out of this. Wrong way. There we go. Love it when it does that. That Aurora Borealis look. Also like the pooling around edges or shapes. All right, people. That's it. 58 minutes. Another masterpiece. See y'all tomorrow.